Hi everyone, welcome to this video. On this video, I am going to discuss with you about government internships, the various options available and how to apply for those. So please stay on this video till the very end. You would be able to gain a lot of useful information if you're thinking of working with the government as an intern. To quickly introduce myself, I am Ayushi. I'm a government officer and I'm currently working as an Indian Economic Service Officer with the Central Government of India. Now, before I begin, let me start with a brief anecdote to highlight the primary advantage of working with the government. While doing my graduation, I interned with the erstwhile Planning Commission of India. I worked in 3 separate divisions over a period of 9 months. While I was there, I noticed that it was not only the Indian students who interned there, but several students studying in top US and European universities such as Stanford, Yale, LSE, they had come to India to pursue internships or fellowships with the Indian government. Now, of course, they must have something in their mind which made them come back to India to pursue their internships. The primary advantages of interning or working with the government can be categorized as follows. First, it gives you a practical, real-world experience of policy design and implementation. Second, if you're thinking about preparing for the UPSC Civil Service exam or any other government exam or even working for the private sector later on, the brand value that the government internship gives is massive. It really amplifies your profile and helps you stand out. For example, when I started my internship, I worked for an initial period of 12 weeks under an IS officer. Later, I could get the internship extended for 6 months more. And during this period of 9 months overall, I worked in diverse areas such as DBT, education. I worked on the 12th 5-year plan. The kind of exposure and understanding this experience gave me really helped me during my preparation for the Indian Economic Service exam as well as during my interview of the UPSC IES exam. Third, these internships are great for networking. The international students at the Planning Commission preferred to do their summer internships with the government not only because of the profile boost it gave, but also because of the networking options available. You get to directly work with bureaucrats and subject matter experts and industry leaders, which can help you if you're someone who's looking to apply for a master's degree such as the MPP or MBA or even a doctorate degree later on. The next thing and a very crucial aspect I'm going to talk about is what options are there to pursue a government internship. Now, a lot of students message me on LinkedIn to ask the same. So here it goes. Internships are offered not only by the central government, but also state governments and a lot of government-related organizations. In fact, local governments have also started offering government internship positions. Now, let me categorize this into 3 parts. A is open internships, that is, internships open for all. That means undergrads, grads, postgraduate degree students from any educational background can apply for these. Most of the government departments and government-related organizations such as Ministry of Finance, Ministry of Rural Development offer such internships. The process is fairly simple. You go to their websites, go to the internship link and follow the exact process that is mentioned there. B are the specialized internships, and these are for students belonging to a specialized degree. For example, Department of Justice under Ministry of Law and Justice offers internship positions only to law students, as the work involved there requires legal knowledge. Similarly, Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, also called as METI, it also offers specific internships for engineering students and computer science graduates. Hence, for such internships, you may be required to belong to some specific degree or course. So if you are someone who is from a specialized field such as law, biotech, medicine, or even agriculture, try to apply for these specific internships. You could look at the respective ministry website or also at the government affiliated organizations such as Indian Council for Agriculture Research in case of agriculture or ICMR for medical students. Now, these internships are typically for 2 to 3 months and there could be a possibility to extend it further. Usually, you work in a specific division on a specific project under a director or a joint secretary level officer. Finally, there are something called as fellowship programs. Now, these programs, they are much more structured, They are more independent and involve working on specific projects at a more advanced level. For example, there is something called as Prime Minister Rural Development Fellowship or PMRDF under the Ministry of Rural Development. Here, one gets to work at the ground level, usually under a district collector, on various schemes and programs of the government. Similarly, state governments also have their own fellowship schemes. The Delhi government has something called as Delhi Urban Leaders Fellowship Program. Here again, you would work on state-specific policies and schemes. I started working with the Andhra Pradesh government as an economic development fellow, which later on got converted into public policy consulting. These fellowships involve much more grassroots work. You would usually be required to work on a specific project and provide a comprehensive report along with your observations and recommendations. The duration can range between 6 months to 2 years. Now coming to the third and most awaited part of the video, the framework to apply. There are around 50 ministries in the central government, and almost all the central ministries offer internship opportunities. The internships are usually offered twice a year during summer months and then during the winter months. A few organizations such as Niti Aayog and Ministry of Rural Development come out with such opportunities very frequently throughout the year. The websites of the respective ministries, usually ending with .nic.in, are the best way to check for the openings. Second is the screening process. Now, there is usually an application wherein you need to fill your details, your education background, your work experience, if any, and other such supporting material. Finally, there is an interview. The resume shortlisting is usually followed by an interview, which is taken by a director or a joint secretary level officer. Here, they would ask you questions related to your profile, your interest, and your fit with the work involved. Now, the application process for the fellowship program is fairly similar, but it is much more rigorous. It may involve more rounds of interviews or group discussions as well. Now, coming to a very important aspect, stipend. The stipend actually varies from department to department and project to project. When I interned with the Planning Commission, there was no stipend at all. But things have changed now, and this is a good news. Most of the ministries offer some minimum stipend between 5,000 to 25,000 rupees per month, along with reimbursement for any expenses incurred while completing the project you have been assigned. The details are usually given in the notification that the ministry advertises, and the system is quite transparent in that respect. So I've covered the advantages of doing government internships. I've also covered the type of internships available, the prerequisites for applying, and the stipend involved. I hope you found this video to be useful and it motivates you to apply for government internships. If you have any queries, please drop them in the comment box below. I would be happy to answer those. If you want to know more about any such topics related to government, public policy, finance, or economics, please send in your suggestions. All the best to all of you. Stay safe.